On the night of my 28th birthday, there was no flickering candlelight nor warm blessings, only the pungent smell of disinfectant in the emergency room. My name is Sloane, and I am a surgeon. Right now, I'm staring coldly at the clipboard. On the bed in front of me lies a young woman writhing in pain from a ruptured ovarian cyst. Typical injury from rough sex. Where is your boyfriend? I looked up out of routine, but my blood froze instantly. The man standing by the bed, tightly holding that woman's hand, was actually my husband Strike, the golden heir of New York's Buchanan family. He stood there frozen, his tie loose, his shirt collar wide open. A hint of panic flashed in those famous blue eyes, but it was quickly covered by coldness.
Baby, I'm tied up with an important meeting. I'm really sorry I can't make it to your birthday dinner tonight.
The lie he told on the phone 40 minutes ago flashed through my mind. The moment a lie is torn apart, it always brings a bloody, agonizing pain. In the hallway, his terrible friends were stunned. Their brazen whispers were like countless poisoned needles, piercing me densely.
Dr. Brown, that's your husband. You don't have to take this case. Let someone else do it.
Everyone thought I would rush up and tear into them hysterically, like I did in the past, because in this marriage, I had always been a humble admirer. I once cleaned up after him for 2 years when he was paralyzed in a car crash, just begging for him to look at me. No. Prepare operating room 3. I'll do it myself.
Sloane, who are you showing this cold attitude to? If you want to make a scene, we'll talk about it when we get home.
Family member, please wait outside the operating room. I treated him like air, pushing the hospital bed straight towards the operating room. Strike stared at me intently, waiting for my tears and outburst. But he didn't know that when a woman is too lazy to even spare jealousy, it's the beginning of utter despair. The humble script belonging to Sloane was officially wrapped up tonight. Under the shadowless lamp, my hands are as steady as a mountain. The sharp scalpel cuts open the woman who took my husband. I calmly repair her body, torn by my husband's roughness. At 3 a.m., the surgery ends successfully. I pull down my mask and run into Strike, pacing anxiously at the end of the hallway. The surgery went well. No sex for a month. And next time, don't be so rough.
Sloane, that's it? You just go in and come out like this? You're not even angry.
He violently grabbed my wrist, squeezing hard enough to almost crush my bones. He raised his voice, as if my calmness right now was a massive insult to him. He expected the usual scene, my eyes red, begging him submissively to stop seeing Nora. But now, inside me, there is nothing but barren ruins. Isn't this exactly what you've been begging for? A wife who shuts up, makes no fuss, and is always understanding? I did it.
Keep playing the saint. Your surgical skills are indeed better than your skills in bed. If she feels unwell again, I'll bring her back to you.
Strike. It hurts. It hurts so much.
Nora, still groggy from anesthesia, weakly called his name. Strike immediately turned around, tightly holding her hand with gentle comfort, treating me like air. I watched this loving scene with cold eyes, turned back to the on-call room, and locked the door. I took out my phone and dialed the number I had saved for months, but never called. Hello, Mr. Victor. I need you to finalize my divorce from Strike within a month. Once it's done, I'm coming home. On the other end of the line was my long-lost biological father, the man standing at the very top of New York's pyramid of power. In a month, I will no longer be the lowly Mrs. Buchanan, but the sole heir to the Harrington family. I knew exactly what game Strike was playing. He wasn't satisfied with my calmness last night, so he doubled down on his provocations, trying to force me to lose control so he could continue enjoying his condescending sense of charity. When I dragged my exhausted body to push open the mansion doors, what greeted my eyes was Nora, taking over my home like a parasite.
You're back? Strike is taking a shower. Come sit for a while.
She had just showered, carelessly wrapped in my bath towel, waving toward the sofa lazily like the lady of the house. Her smile was full of a victor's provocation. I ignored her and sat down calmly at the other end of the sofa. Soon, Strike walked out, drying his wet hair. He deliberately ignored me and intimately wrapped his arms around Nora's waist.
Why didn't you dry your hair? Put your head down. Let me help you.
Don't. You're too rough. You always hurt me.
Oh? You didn't say that in bed. Sloane, you dry it for her. Don't pull her hair too hard.
They flirted as if no one else was there, every word like a poisoned blade. He casually threw the hairdryer at my feet, like trash. He was waiting for me to explode, waiting for me to cry in humiliation. I slowly took out a pack of cigarettes, lit one, and blew a smoke ring. Fine. Wait till I finish smoking.
When did you start smoking? Don't be jealous. When I've had enough fun, I'll naturally come back to you. You are forever my wife.
Hearing his supposedly gracious words, I only felt incredibly sick. I dodged the hand he reached out to touch my cheek, looking at him coldly. His era was over. He was just foolishly trapped in the beautiful dream he wove for himself. Early next morning, I was woken up by the arrogant noise downstairs. Pushing the door open, the living room was crowded with Strike's cronies, the stench of alcohol making me sick. Strike stood right in the center of the crowd, holding a top-tier invitation made of pure 999 gold, his face showing unconcealed arrogance.
Holy shit! Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan are invited to Victor Harrington's 60th birthday celebration. This is a throne made of solid gold.
Victor just found his long-lost daughter. Strike, if you weren't married, you'd definitely be his #1 choice for a son-in-law.
Listening to their unbridled flattery, my fingers curled slightly. Victor Harrington, my biological father. This invitation is nothing but a setup by my father to see me privately before revealing my identity. Ridiculously, Strike foolishly thought he had clung to top-tier power on his own.
Sloane, what do you think? For such a top-tier grand occasion, I want to take Nora out to see the world. You wouldn't be jealous, right?
He unscrupulously elevated his mistress, expecting to see my ugly, jealous breakdown. But I just stood on the stairs, looking down at this jumping clown. Maybe he really does see you as a son-in-law. You can take whoever you want. Sounds good.
Stop being so passive-aggressive. Today is the chance you voluntarily gave up. Don't come begging on your knees later.
My calm and breezy attitude made Strike feel like he punched cotton with all his might. His face instantly darkened, and he fiercely gripped that gold invitation. He thought that piece of paper was a ticket to the pinnacle of power, not knowing that it was actually the death knell I personally tolled for him. The birthday banquet of the Harrington family is the top vanity fair that all celebrities in New York are eager to attend. When I got out of the car alone, Strike's Rolls-Royce just pulled up next to it. He was wearing a custom-made suit. He thoughtfully helped Nora, who was wearing a flamboyant dress, get out of the car. Nora took his arm, as proud as a peacock that has won the fight.
Sloane, you actually came here by yourself? This is no place for a powerless orphan like you.
Sloane, I warned you. Don't make trouble at Mr. Victor's banquet and embarrass me.
I didn't even spare them a glance from the corner of my eye and walked straight to the entrance of the banquet hall. There, Victor Harrington was surrounded by all the people like the moon surrounded by stars. When his eyes fell on Strike and Nora, the smile froze on his face in an instant. A terrifying, murderous intent flashed in his eyes. But when he looked at me, his eyes instantly melted into extreme affection.
You must be Mrs. Buchanan. I've heard a lot about you. Please, come in.
Come on, Nora. Ignore her. Today, I'll take you to meet the real inner circle.
Nora's triumphant smile froze on her face, her facial features twisted with jealousy. Strike also frowned, confused about why this top tycoon was treating me with such courtesy. But the arrogance in his bones made him quickly ignore this anomaly. Instead, he held Nora in his arms even more ostentatiously. Mr. Harrington, happy birthday to you. I nodded slightly to my father, lifted the hem of my dress, straightened my back, and walked into the dazzling banquet hall. I could feel Strike's eyes staring at me closely from behind, with a hint of panic. He thought tonight was the stage for him to show off his new lover. Little did he know, he was walking step by step into the execution ground of death. Halfway through the banquet, Victor stepped onto the dazzling stage and publicly announced a news that shocked the entire audience.
Within a month, my biological daughter will officially return to the Harrington family.
He had a priceless emerald presented. The envious gazes of the crowd almost set the gem on fire. And after Victor left the stage temporarily, Nora grabbed my wrist tightly and forcibly dragged me towards that priceless treasure.
Come on, let's admire the priceless treasure of Princess Harrington together. Look at the engraving, Sloane. It's the same name as yours, but a completely different life.
She pointed to the base of the gem, her voice filled with vicious sarcasm. She thought this would sting my humble self-esteem, but I just coldly brushed her hand away. Yeah, some people are born with certain things, but others, like you, can only get them by stealing and snatching.
Are you talking about the title of Mrs. Buchanan? I'm telling you, it won't be yours so soon.
Nora's eyes instantly turned crazy. She unexpectedly grabbed that priceless gem, in the shocked eyes of everyone, and slammed it hard onto the marble floor.
Oh my God, Sloane! What's wrong with you? How could you be so careless? You smashed Miss Harrington's gift.
The ear-piercing sound of shattering echoed through the ballroom. Nora gasped exaggeratedly, pointed firmly at my nose, and screamed. The gazes of all the nobles pierced towards me like sharp swords. Nora hid behind the crowd, a vicious sneer on the corner of her mouth. But this stupid woman has no idea. What she just smashed with her own hands is the rest of her life that she has painstakingly schemed for. The shards of the green gem glinted with harsh cold light under the crystal chandelier. The surrounding guests gasped in unison. Everyone knew the consequences of angering Victor Harrington. Just then, Strike strode over. He stared at the shards on the ground, his brows furrowed. A flash of calculation crossed his eyes.
It's just a stone. I'll pay for it.
Mr. Buchanan, this isn't about money. That's a gift for Victor's only daughter. Smashing it is like spitting in the face of the Harrington family.
Strike, you know I'm not that reckless. Nora did this. I stared at Strike, cold as ice. He had clearly seen Nora frame me with his own eyes. In the moment he hesitated, Victor Harrington returned. Seeing the shards, all warmth vanished from the top tycoon's body in an instant. A terrifying pressure descended over the entire hall.
Who did this? Whoever smashed my daughter's gift, I'll skin him alive.
Nora's face turned pale with terror, hiding tightly behind Strike, frantically framing me.
Sloane did this. Mr. Harrington, she's jealous of your daughter.
I froze in place, staring at the husband I once loved with my life. He didn't even glance at me, and slowly raised his hand, and pointed his finger straight at the tip of my nose without hesitation.
My wife acted inappropriately. I will compensate 10 times the value.
With one sentence, he pushed me straight to hell. He didn't hesitate to sacrifice my life to protect his mistress. In that moment, I heard the last shred of hope I had for him shatter into dust. Fine, Strike. This is the choice you made with your own hands. If I weren't Victor's real daughter, I would never have walked out of this door alive tonight. Victor stared at Strike, his eyes surging with fierce, murderous intent and sorrow for me. In the end, he coldly cleared the venue, leaving only me behind.
The party is over. Everyone get out. Sloane stays. He signed it. I mixed the divorce papers into the final version of the partnership documents. He was too arrogant to read them carefully. You're free, my daughter.
Thank you, Dad. At midnight, I dragged my exhausted body back to the Buchanan mansion. Strike was roaring in a rage, anxious to send someone to the Harrington Manor to get me out. When he turned around and saw me safe and sound, he froze on the spot as if he had seen a ghost.
How did you come back in one piece? Didn't Victor do anything to you?
What? Are you disappointed that I came back alive? Nora walked down from upstairs, as if she had thought of some vicious scheme. A vile sneer curled on her lips.
Victor has been a widower for so many years. You couldn't have spent the whole night with him, right? Is this the freedom you got by sleeping with an old man?
Nora's words exploded in the living room like a poison gas bomb. Strike's eyes instantly turned bloodshot. Suspicion, rage, and masculine humiliation instantly swallowed his sanity. He pounced on me like a raging beast, gripped my wrist tightly, completely tearing off his hypocritical mask.
Say it. Did you sleep with him?
Strike's roar echoed through the villa. He roughly grabbed my wrist, his grip so tight it almost crushed my bones. The inherent vileness in his bones made him prefer to believe that I had sold my body to save my life. Since you've already made up your mind, what else can I say? Let go of me.
So, you're admitting it? You bitch.
He abruptly slung me over his shoulder and violently kicked open the master bedroom door. His big hand frantically tore at my skirt. Humiliation and despair turned into tears. I raised my hand and slapped him across the face with all my strength. Strike! How dare you do this to me? The crisp sound of the slap made him freeze mid-movement. I stared at him quietly, my eyes like a dry well. No struggle, no anger, only complete dead silence. This silent contempt cut off his last pride, like a blunt knife. He roared and slammed the door as he left. From that day on, we never spoke another word to each other. Until the old mansion dinner on Christmas Eve, the door was pushed open.
Mrs. Buchanan, you've long had a grandson. This is Hollis, my son with Strike. He's 4 years old this year.
4 years old. Strike's car accident happened 2 years ago. This means that when I was taking care of him, who was paralyzed in bed, day and night like a believer, this illegitimate child already existed. The marriage I gave everything to protect was, from start to finish, a complete lie. The loud crash of a dinner plate shatters the peace of the dining room. Mrs. Buchanan trembles in shock, while Strike doesn't even bat an eye.
When Strike had that car accident, I found out I was pregnant. Sloane, I'm sorry. Strike just didn't know how to tell you.
Is it true? Strike, this child. Is it real?
Yes, it's real. It's no big deal. After all, you slept with an old man for profit. We're even.
His casual words twist my heart into shreds. These 2 years I gave my all have completely become a joke. Mrs. Buchanan roars in anger, demanding to throw the mother and son out. Nora's face is filled with panic. Wait. He strikes blood. It's the child's right to be recognized.
Sloane, are you okay? Oh my God, are you pregnant?
A wave of violent nausea hits me. I cover my mouth and retch. Strike's gaze sharply locks onto my lower abdomen, while Nora's gaze instantly twists into venomous malice. I flee the old mansion and go to the hospital for an examination. The report reads, 12 weeks of pregnancy. Just as I walk towards the dim underground parking lot, several dark figures suddenly rush out. Fists and boots rain down violently on my lower abdomen. Warm blood flows down my thigh.
Nora, it's done. The baby is gone.
Before I lose consciousness, I hear the gangster boasting to Nora on the phone. In that moment, I close my eyes in a pool of blood. When I woke up again in the harsh white light of the hospital, the empty, throbbing pain in my lower abdomen constantly reminds me of that bloody hatred. Nora Vance, she was so vicious that she hired thugs to kill my child. The door was kicked open with a loud bang.
Sloane, how the fuck dare you? Hurt a 4-year-old child?
Strike, his eyes bloodshot, dragged my weak body forcefully to the next ward. On the hospital bed, Hollis had a gauze wrapped around his wrist. Nora fell to her knees, crying her heart out.
Sloane, please. You can hit me and scold me, but please don't hurt my child. We'll disappear right now.
Are you stupid or evil? I'm a surgeon. But do you know what Nora did to me? She sent thugs to beat me until I miscarried.
You're still lying even now. And you still want to drag Nora down with you?
He cut off my words with a vicious slap, grabbed the fruit knife from the fruit plate, and threw it at my feet.
Since you think this wound is nothing, prove it to me. Cut yourself. Let me see how nothing it really is.
I stared at the cold, glinting knife, the last trace of pain in my heart completely numbed. I bent down and picked up the knife and slashed it hard at my left wrist without hesitation. Blood gushed out in an instant. I stared coldly at his terrified, retreating face. Is that enough, Mr. Buchanan? This last bit of blood. Consider it my repayment to you. Strike backed away in terror from the gushing blood from me. I didn't shed a single tear. I walked out of that disgusting ward with the calmest steps. While I was getting a simple bandage at the nurse's station, my phone vibrated. It was Victor Harrington.
Sloane, I've used all my connections. Your divorce agreement has officially taken effect. When will you come home?
Now. I'm coming home right now.
Mr. Buchanan, the lady who just had her wrist bandaged, has left in a top-of-the-line black Rolls-Royce.
I tucked my bleeding wrist into my sleeve. With the authoritative paternity test that trampled Sloane Buchanan is legally dead. I am Sloane Harrington, the sole legitimate heir to New York's top chaebol. 3 days later, the news that the Harrington family will hold a public spouse selection for me has taken the city by storm. On the other side, Strike's assistant trembled as he reported the truth he found out to him.
Mr. Buchanan, we found out. Before the attack, Mrs. Sloane was indeed 12 weeks pregnant. The mastermind is Nora. And the paternity test is fake. Hollis is actually 5 years old. He's not your son at all.
The truth hit like a bolt from the blue, instantly shattered all of Strike's pride. Nora is pregnant with someone else's bastard and treated him like a fool to take the blame. And he, for this bastard, personally killed his own flesh and blood. Regret and nausea made him almost unable to breathe. He rushed towards Nora's ward with bloodshot eyes. The ward door was kicked open with a bang. Nora was feeding her fake son porridge with a loving face. Seeing Strike's face as dark as water, she immediately squeezed out tears and played the victim.
Strike, I heard you're going to the Harrington son-in-law selection banquet. What am I then? Hollis is your own son.
Doctor, do a paternity test immediately. Between me and this bastard, I want the result today.
Strike's voice was like an ice-chilled knife, slamming the ironclad evidence hard in her face. Amid the flying papers, he pressed forward step by step, just like an evil ghost from hell.
You sent your hooligan ex-boyfriend to beat her. Until she miscarried. And this bastard is also that hooligan's child. Isn't he?
I did it. I was wrong. Strike, please forgive me.
Nora collapsed to the ground in fear and begged for mercy. But the killing intent in Strike's eyes was unstoppable. He casually grabbed the sharp fruit knife on the counter. The knife fell with a swift swing. The blade flashed. Nora's left little finger was cut off at the root. A shrill scream tore through the entire floor in an instant.
Take them away! Lock the mother and son in the basement. 2 meals of stale rice a day keep them alive with the best medicine. I want them to live worse than death.
Nora was dragged away like a dead dog, and at this moment I was riding in a Rolls-Royce into the Harrington Manor, the multi-million-dollar gate.
Welcome home, Miss Harrington.
The moment I turned around, under the cherry blossom tree with falling petals, I saw Strike's biological uncle, Theron Buchanan. Theron Buchanan under the cherry blossom tree was still as cold and noble as he used to be. When I was in college, I plucked up the courage to hand him a pink love letter. But he ruthlessly crumpled it up and threw it into the trash can. He scolded me not to waste my energy. That humble crush was the most embarrassing scar of my youth.
Sloane, come and meet your savior. We found you, thanks to the clues provided by Theron.
I was too shocked to speak. The man who once discarded me like trash. Why did you go to great lengths to save me from the fire? Theron walked towards me, his eyes fixed on my face, restrained and profound.
Now that you're home safe, I won't disturb you any longer. Farewell.
Sloane, call a doctor.
He nodded slightly and turned to leave. At that moment, days of blood loss and huge emotional ups and downs finally broke me and I lost consciousness. Before I passed out, I fell into a warm embrace with a crisp medicinal scent. When I woke up again, it was already late at night. The wound on my wrist had been perfectly rebandaged. Theron was sitting by my bed watching me quietly.
Your wound got infected and you had a high fever. I redressed it. Does it still hurt? Can you hold up for the son-in-law selection banquet in 3 days?
That's just my dad getting overexcited. I never plan to get married again. After experiencing betrayal, I only feel nauseous about marriage. Theron stood up to say goodbye, but the moment he turned around, a black leather wallet slipped out of his pocket. I bent down to pick it up and saw the photo in the transparent slot. It made my heart stop beating in an instant. That was my photo. Me at the age of 20 with a ponytail and a bright smile. And in the innermost layer of the wallet, there was also a pink envelope with yellowed edges.
Sloane, I like you. I've liked you for a long time.
My fingers trembled as I pulled out the love letter that he had thrown into the trash back then. Beneath my handwriting, there was an extra line of sharp, forceful penmanship. When you graduate, we'll be together. It turned out that he had kept my love close to him for 8 whole years. The embarrassment I thought was unrequited love was actually a deeply restrained mutual affection. 8 years of restraint, 8 years of silent guardianship. It turned out that the crush in youth had never been in vain. 3 days later, the Harrington family's son-in-law selection banquet arrived as scheduled. Strike, like a desperate gambler, snuck into the venue and grabbed my wrist tightly.
Sloane, have you had enough of this farce? Come back with me, now!
Who are you? Let go of me.
What did you say? I'm your husband. How long are you going to keep playing this childish game?
The bodyguard held him down tightly, making him unable to move an inch. Strike struggled wildly on the ground, roaring nonstop. The Harrington family's top bodyguard instantly broke his arm and forced him to the ground. Victor walked over from a distance with a loving smile and took my hand affectionately.
Sweetheart, are you ready? All the young talents tonight are waiting for you.
Mr. Harrington? She's your daughter?
Looking at the earth-shattering despair and disbelief on Strike's face, I finally felt a hint of the pleasure of revenge. The game is over, Strike. Welcome to hell. Strike's world completely collapsed at this moment. Sloane's new life has officially begun. Victor curled the corner of his mouth into a cold, knife-like sneer.
She is, of course, my long-lost biological daughter, Sloane Harrington. Mr. Buchanan, Who did you think she was?
Strike was struck dumb as if by a thunderbolt, his whole body rigid. All the truth came full circle. He was like a clown, personally trampling the sole heir of the Harrington family under his feet, all for a mistress pregnant with another's bastard.
Dear guests, tonight I choose a husband for my daughter. Whoever my daughter finally chooses the rose from will be the Harrington family's future son-in-law.
All the normally aloof chaebol heirs in the audience instantly tore off their hypocritical masks, rushing madly towards the rose stand like hungry wolves. Strike also acted like a mad dog, snatching a damaged rose by brute force.
Sloane, that's enough. Stop messing around. Come back. I know I was wrong. Come back to me.
He held the rose breathlessly, his eyes full of humble hope. I lifted the heavy hem of my dress, walking slowly down the steps like a proud queen. I walked straight past Strike, stopping in front of another tall and straight man. I choose him.
Oh my God! She chose Mr. Buchanan's uncle!
I smiled, and from Theron's slightly trembling fingertips, I firmly pulled out the rose. Theron's eyes turned red. Behind him, Strike's sanity completely collapsed.
What the hell did you just do?
Strike's voice cracked shrilly with rage. He charged forward like a mad beast with fire in his eyes. I really didn't know about their family relationship.
Sloane, you could have chosen anyone. Why him of all people? He's my biological uncle. Are you deliberately trying to make a fool of me?
Before I could even speak, Theron had already taken a steady step forward, shielded me tightly behind him like a rare treasure. His sharp gaze locked on the degenerate nephew in front of him.
Sloane is free to choose anyone. That's her right. Strike, watch your mouth.
Don't play the noble saint, brazenly stealing your own nephew's wife. Have you no sense of shame? Disgusting.
Bang! A dull, deafening crash. Theron threw a heavy punch without hesitation, slamming hard into Strike's jaw. The sound of a bone crack echoed clearly in the luxurious ballroom.
Disgusting? You ruined your wife for a mistress, drove your wife to a miscarriage, and a suicide attempt. What right do you have to bark now?
Mr. Buchanan, make this clear. My name is Sloane Harrington. What we had has long been rotten to the core. My cold, heartless declaration completely shattered Strike's last glimmer of hope. The bodyguards dragged him like a dead dog, forcibly dragging his despair-stricken body out of the dazzling venue. Strike's arrogance was completely destroyed. After the farce ended, the luxurious ballroom gradually resumed socializing. I walked to the quiet and deserted corridor, turned around and looked at Theron, who had been silently following and protecting me behind. Thank you for stepping in to bail me out just now. But about the engagement, please don't take it seriously. Having just ended a brutal marriage that was like skinning me alive, I no longer have the strength to believe in any new relationship. I was exhausted and wanted to escape, but Theron's warm big hand grabbed my wrist tightly. The strength was firm and persistent.
Miss Harrington, do you really intend to treat this as a joke? Go back on your word, just like that? Or are you going to make me a laughingstock? When I returned your love letter back then, it wasn't that I didn't like you. It was because my love was too strong. I was afraid you would get distracted. I wanted to wait until you graduated to pursue you. But I didn't even have the right to wait. Strike had a car accident, and you married him. I could only hide this love in my heart like a knife.
Listening to his suppressed and hoarse confession, my heart clenched tightly. It turned out that the indifference and rejection I thought were all his blood-weeping deep love that he endured to protect my future.
Sloane, this time, I will never let go again. Even if I have to spend all the rest of my life, I will also wait until the day you accept me again.
His eyes were bloodshot and his hands were trembling uncontrollably. Looking at this affectionate man who has silently guarded me for 8 whole years, my heart that had long been frozen, suddenly under this bright and clear moonlight, quietly cracked a gap that welcomes the spring. Theron's affectionate and restrained confession completely melted the ice in my heart. Maybe I really owe my 18-year-old self a happy ending. On the other side, Strike, who has lost everything, is like a crazy and desperate gambler, madly sending expensive jewelry, trying to win my heart back.
Sloane, please come out and see me. These are the jewelry you used to like. As long as you come back, I'll do anything.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, as the sole heir of the top chaebol, how could I care about his cheap compensation? The gifts were thrown into the street like garbage. Seeing that his stalking was hopeless, Strike ran back to the old mansion and loudly complained to Mrs. Buchanan.
Mom, you have to do something about Theron. He's absolutely shameless. How dare he at this juncture steal your daughter-in-law?
You cheated on your wife blatantly and killed your own biological child. You broke Sloane's heart completely. Isn't that enough?
Mom, I'm the son you gave birth to after 10 months of pregnancy. Your own son. How can you side with an outsider?
Theron can give Sloane real respect. From now on, I don't have a son like you. Get out of here and behave yourself.
His mother's merciless and resolute expulsion cut off Strike's last glimmer of hope to turn the tables. Wishful thinking? He finally realized that without him, I will only live better at the top of the world. This disgusting pile of mud has finally met his well-deserved destruction. My century wedding with Theron shocked the whole world. I heard Strike ended up like a rat in the gutter. Snuck into the wedding venue. He hid in the corner and watched us take the oath. Tilted his head and downed a large glass of bitter wine. He completely disappeared from New York's elite circle. 2 years later, the early winter snow falls on the suburbs. On the ancient church, I'm 4 months pregnant. The crystallization of my love with Theron is growing safely in my belly.
Sloane, walk slowly. The wind is strong on the mountain. Tie your scarf tightly. Don't catch a cold.
Theron treated me like the most fragile colored glaze in the world, held my waist tentatively. We came to the ancient temple to pray for blessings. My hand gently touched the wooden lottery tube. I reverently pulled out a yellowed scripture lottery paper. Father, could you please help me interpret this lottery? The young monk in a tattered robe slowly turned around. It was Strike. He was emaciated to the point of being unrecognizable. His once arrogant eyes are now empty, leaving nothing but a pool of stagnant water. His gaze swept across my pregnant belly.
It's a top lucky lottery. It predicts a safe and healthy family, children and grandchildren around the knee, and a peaceful old age.
That's really great. Thank you, Father.
Thank you. I nodded at him extremely calmly. No ridicule, no scolding. For a stranger who has completely rotted in the mud, unruffled forgetting is the most extreme and cruel punishment. I let Theron gently wrap his arm around my shoulder, and we walked away together. The fine snow gradually covered the church eaves. The lonely and broken figure behind was forever buried in the vast white snow. The dark night belonging to Sloane has long since dawned, and my brilliant, radiant life will never end.